Órale, Cholo Choc, los tres chingones boxing. Shouts to all the chingones y chingonas. And shouts to everybody on Mile High Hustle, man, that's tapping in from the box seat or anywhere else. But this man has a fight coming up on Saturday. This guy stays in the gym uh, probably more than some of the pros do, man. So let's go ahead and let's bring him in here. Let's bring in my brother, man, from Mile High Hustle, Conrad.
What's up, Ed? How
What
you
is
doing, my brother?
good, dog? Good, man. What's going on with you?
Shit, just getting ready, brother. Just refining some last things. Uh, we ready for tomorrow, Saturday. We weigh in tomorrow. So we got weigh-ins about 6 p.m., about 7 p.m. your time. I will go live for the weigh-ins. This is the first time I get to see this boy. I've never really laid any eyes on him or nothing. So we just, I don't know nothing about him. Ain't seen no tape on him. Um, we flying blind, man, but that's okay. That's usually how it is, right?
Yeah, okay. So I want to get to your opponent in a second, but let's get to you, man. Okay, so last time that we've talked about you getting in the ring, you were talking about like, man, you know what? You really want to be challenged. You really want to be tested. You don't know if you still want to continue this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you want to keep going until you're challenged, or maybe even after that. Where does Conrad stand right now on being in the ring?
Um, I don't know, brother. Every day is a challenge, when you're my age. I think if you're really training, you're really going hard, and you're really doing this the right way, the doubt is always in your mind. You know what I mean? It's always there, that doubt. Um, there's always that self-doubt, brother. I don't know. It's just always knocking on there. And it may not even be age. That's just a competitor. You know what I mean? Is you can train as hard as you want. You can work as hard as you want, but the win is never guaranteed. You know what I mean? Winning. I did this video and it was talk about winning doesn't give it gives nada about anything. It don't care how hard you work. It don't care the sleepless nights you go through. It don't care about the injuries. Um, it don't care about anything. You know what I mean? It's just there, and it gives us self doubt. Um, and I have it every day. You know what I mean? But I know I need this for my mental health. This is more about mental health for me than anything, brother. To be honest with you, I've always had some kind of outlet um, for mental health, and that would at one time it was jujitsu. I dabbled in bodybuilding for a while. It was that the weights. It only did so much. You know what I mean? And then boxing, man. When I took that opportunity that Mikey gave me, it truly opened a lane for me, man. It let me realize that I'm still a pretty good athlete for my age. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
still a pretty decent athlete for my age, and if I work hard, I could still, reap some benefits from it. But the mental health is really what keeps me going. Um, but there's self doubt every day. You know that, brother. When you're training or you're going through nagging injuries, um, it's every day is just I kind of watched that David Goggins, brother, and I love his mindset. It's like, man, you just gotta, I talk foul to myself. I'm not gonna lie, man. I talk foul to myself to get myself like get up, you know what I mean? Get up, biatch, get up, get your ass.
Yeah.
I start talking I talk shit to myself, bro, and that gets me like to that point because motivation only goes so far, brother. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, man. I mean, you could be motivated by a video, a song, seeing somebody else do something, but in reality, discipline needs to take over at some point. Anybody can be inspired, anybody can be motivated, but at some point, if you're going to be real about it, discipline has to take over to just keep you going. And you're right, man. Sometimes when you're feeling tired and you're like, damn, man, you're like, man, you're acting like a punk right now. Come on, let's go, man. Let's go. And you start talking to yourself, you start wilding yourself up, man, to keep going. Are you taking it one fight at a time? You know, you talk to a couple people and they're like, well, I don't want to look past my opponent, but they know inside that, hey, after this opponent, I know I'm going to fight again. Even though I'm not thinking about what's next, I know I'm still going to get back in the ring. Where are you? Are you like, you know what? Maybe this could be it. Maybe it's not. I won't know till after the fight. Or are you inside like, hey, after this, I still want to do it again?
I'm still want to do it, but I think after this fight, I'm gonna take some much needed rest, a hiatus. Not so much for the bumps and bruises, and I need that too, but more so I owe my family. You know what I mean? I owe my because this is very selfish, bro. Anything you do that's like this, and if you got a family or a wife or kids, um, it's a very selfish thing. You know what I mean, brother? Like, jujitsu was a very self. My wife's always put up with it, brother. I've always had an outlet, and I think my wife's always knowing that I've needed that mental health outlet. She sees it. You know what I mean? My wife's known me since I was 15, brother. We've been together since I was 15, 14, 15 years old. You know, my wife has been my high school sweetheart. We've been together forever. So she knows who I am. She knows when I'm hurting. I could try to hide it. She knows when I'm hurting. She knows when I'm depressed. She knows when I'm banged up. She knows when I have that self-doubt rolling in. She sees when I miss something. Um, she calls me out. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm gonna have to just let you know. I got to pay back, brother. It's been a long road. This is the anniversary of my mother-in-law's passing last year. She passed right before the boxers fight, so that's something we're still healing from, brother. You know what I mean? We're still healing from it. My wife's still healing from it. Um, when you lose somebody that important, you know what I mean? So I think I need to step into my role as a dad and a grandfather and really be that person they need me to be for the next 4 to 5 months and put my stuff on the back burner. You know, it's gonna be there. That don't mean I won't train or nothing, but I don't think I'm gonna be fighting for at least about 4 to 5 months. I'm gonna give my body a much needed rest and I'm gonna give my family the much needed attention they need, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's good, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, and that's good because when you're preparing for a fight, that's it. That's your mind, everything, man, is just focus on that. You know, for me, it's like I'm trucking. As soon as I'm off the truck, boom, like that's all it is, man. If I'm not trucking, I'm training, and if I'm not doing that, that means I'm getting sleep. You know, and then bam, just revolve again. So no, that's a good. I think it's coming at the right time too, comrade. I think it's coming at the right time too. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got Christmas coming up. You got all these holidays, man, that you want to be giving that quality family time, man. So that's a good thing. But inside of you, you know that you're gonna want another one. Is there anything, comrade, that can happen in this fight? I want to get to your opponent in a second, but is there anything that you think possibly that can happen in this fight where you're like, you know what? I think I'm all right, man. Is there anything?
Um, I don't know if the kid comes out and gives me an extremely hard fight. I have a hard, tough one of those, gaudy war moments we were talking about. I don't know. I mean, that could be very well if that self doubt creeps in and he kicks that door in, and that's a possibility. Every time you step in the ring, that's boxing, brother. That's a gladiator sport. Uh, it could happen to anyone. That's why we love to watch it because there's blood and someone really getting hurt is that's right on the edge right there. You know what I mean? It's not a game. It's we're really throwing patazos hard. These are over 200-pound men who can throw punches with bad intentions. So anything could happen, brother. You know what I mean? I'm not built like a normal, like I don't know, I guess you say quintessential 50-year-old. I think I've taken care of my body good enough to where I could still do this. I could take a pretty good punch. I think I proved that in that snowman fight. Um,
Mm.
that Vato came with some fierce, bro. That right there, that fierceness that he came with, um, I need that, bro. That's something where I don't know what it is. I feel so calm in that moment. Uh, I went back and watched that tape several times, dude, and put it in slow motion and was like, man, I thought I was in the Matrix or something. I was like, man, I was about to change my name to Neo, man. I was like, shit, he was dodging punches. But no, I need something like that, that fierceness, like that young man brought out. I need that. I need that. That lets I feel so alive in that moment, bro. And that's no discredit or disrespect to anyone that, you know, I live my life with or what I live my life for. But that chaos, brother, when it's weird, brother. I don't, and I know you felt this. There's just that time where you can be in complete chaos and feel at complete peace at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, man. There's a time where it comes close, and you're like, man, I don't want to do this again. You know what I mean? Like, there's all this chaos and everything, but then when the chaos is gone, it's just kind of like, man, I don't know. I kind of want to get back in it. Like I did feel, even though there's all this other feelings at the same time, whether it's anxiety, excitement, fear, passion, anger, whatever all these emotions together, there's something to it where you're just kind of like, man, I want to feel that again. I want to go through that again, whatever that is. I don't know what it is, because you're right. When it comes calm, you're just kind of like, okay, you wanted peace, you wanted things to be calm, and it's just kind of like, nah, I don't know if I really want this, man. I kind of want to get back in the mix. So, um, you now, we saw each other back in September 13th. Fast forward, it's gonna be what, about 6 weeks from then to actual fight date. How you feeling? How has this training camp been going for you? And as a 50-year-old, how does training camp go? I mean, if you're in the boxing gym, is it exactly the same as if they're training a 15-year-old, or do they gotta, change things up? Is recovery different? I'm sure that's different. For me myself, all the runs that I've done and challenges and like the Spartans and everything, and even training for fights, man, I'm like, yeah, my body's taking a little bit longer to recover than what I remember than when I was like 25 or something. But talk to us a little bit about training camp.
Training camp's good, man. It's been good. We started it off with 13th at the 13th with you guys, man. So that was basically the start of my camp. The sparring. I love the pace that that Snowman came out with. I think that's what gives me the trouble the most is somebody who comes out very furious because I'm one of those guys. If you let me get settled, brother, and I start finding my rhythm, uh, it's gonna be a long night. You know what I mean? If I get in my rhythm and I start getting comfortable in that ring, um, I'm pretty much good at keeping like generalship of the ring. So I think when somebody makes me go with that dance a little bit faster than I'm used to, that's when it really gets hard. You know what I mean? But once I start settling in, I start finding my shots. Um, it's good. You know what I mean? I mean, we train hard at my gym, man. I sparred with my boy Chewy. I mean, this guy's a 350 pound, just solid, one of the biggest Mexicans you'd ever want to meet, bro, and can box his ass off. And every time I get in there with him, bro, it's a task. I feel like I got hit by a little S10 Chevy pickup after I spar him. It is different. The recovery's different, but you know, you got to just push yourself. You know what I mean? I don't run on the pavement or on the hard surfaces. I try to stay off of hard surfaces like concrete running, just because on the joints. So I tend to do that more in the gym on the elliptical. I'll do sprints on the elliptical as in like an elevated situation and try to do it on the hills and do intervals. So I try to be smart with it, brother. You know what I mean? To where I know it's not going to wear on my body as much. So most of the wear and tear comes from us beating on each other, man. So there's those bumps and bruises, you know what I mean? And I don't think nobody's ever 100% going into a fight. I mean, that's very rare. If they say if you go into a fight 100%, you probably didn't train hard enough, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what was on my mind when you were saying that if you go like 100% where you don't feel, and you have no bumps, no bruises, no aches, no anything whatsoever, then honestly, you're probably not even ready for the fight. because you did not go that hard. You know, you did not go that hard on the paint to prepare yourself for the fight, man. So, yeah, I mean, training for the fight is it's a whole nother animal. You know, it's a whole different animal, man. And like you said, you don't. It's not a game, so it's definitely a whole nother animal. Let's talk a little bit about your opponent, dog. Now, you said you don't know much about him. What do we know about your opponent? Do we know his size? Do we know his age? Do we know where he's from?
I think he's in his, I want to say his late 20s. I want to say mid, like 28. I mean, this is me just speculating. I know the gym he trains out of, very well trained, very well coached. So I know he's coached up. His boy, matter of fact, his boy fought my boy in the fight that I fought Big Red at. You know, when I fought Big Red, Casey, his boy and my boy, they were the co-main event. They should have been the main. Let's be honest. We were the reason I was the main. It wasn't because Mas Chingon, none of that. The coach was literally the promoter was literally worried we were going to break the ring. He was literally worried with that much size in the ring that ring could bust, and if that happened, then the whole card would have been kagao. So rather than that happen, he had my friend Tomas. So that was a big. Oh, you got to think. I had not only my partner, he's usually the main event. He's the man. They call him TKO. He's a 4-time champion. He usually the show closer. He gets the knockout before on this guy's training partner, and the kid was a dog, bro. He had my friend. That was a tough fight. So I know the gym. I know the kid. They're well schooled. So I expect him to be pretty good at what he does. Like it's his first fight though. We'll see. You know what I mean? Typical heavyweights ain't very high output fighters, but you never know, man. You never know.
Okay, so him being the age that he is, does that do anything to you? Like, man, you know what? This dude's a youngster, man. I mean, is that what is making you think more about your opponent?
Um, nah, you know what? The young part don't bother me, brother, because like I said, I don't really think about like I said, I don't think I think I can move. Like I spar with these dudes all the time in my gym. They're youngsters, you know what I mean? One of my main sparring partners, he's 18 years old. He's big, he's tough. He reminds me of Andy Ruiz. That's what Big Gabe kind of fights like a Andy Ruiz. So I fight with dudes who are 300 pounds all day, brother, and we don't take it easy on each other. Gabe puts it on me sometimes. So um, I'm not really worried about his age. Like I said, I haven't been in the ring with anybody that I have not been able to touch, regardless of
Okay.
the skill. You know what I mean? I have not shared the ring with anyone that I have not been able to land my jab on, that I haven't been able to consistently catch with punches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and when I was training for the exhibition that I had with Gunner, it was a 19-year-old kid that fractured my ribs, man. I was in there sparring with them, preparing for that fight, and it was a 19-year-old kid that fractured my ribs. So no, getting in there with youngsters is definitely on another level. You gotta keep up with them, man. But you keep up with them, man. You're sparring with young dudes. So, and you know what? I'll say this about you, dog. You move very smooth in the ring, especially at your size, dog. You're a big dude, but the way your feet move in there, you move very slick. And I've told you this before. When you switch to southpaw, you do it, and it takes the opponent a while to realize, like, oh damn, this dude's in a southpaw stance now. Oh damn! Wow! Now this guy's an orthodox. Like you do it so slick. It's not like you're one side and then you jump, or you just do it real slick. Like you throw a punch and then you just kind of stay there. It's a it's a good. I like that skill out of you, man. You can really mess with your opponent's mind that way. What's your thoughts going into this fight? Since you don't know too much about him, um, do you have a game plan? Do you have a backup game plan? Are you just gonna wait to see what he brings in the first round to make adjustments?
You know what? I'll be honest with you, bro. With 2-minute rounds, we got 3 2-minute rounds, brother. There's 360 seconds. I don't got time to give him shit. I got to
Mm,
go in there and like we got to get the party started. Like let's get the party started. Here's the thing. We're heavyweights. I want him to work. You're going to get your heart rate up. We're going to get our heart rates up and we're going to see who's going to be able to dance with the heart rate up, and who's gonna let's see whose air is there. You know what I mean? That's the part I love of the game. With Snowman, you know what I mean? I thought he did, man. He dude was tough. I think the only really thing I had on him was timing, which was he's on the couch. He hasn't been training consistently. I think if that dude's training, it's a different. That's probably not the best he can do. A scary version, and that dude is trained up and has a air for days. Scary. But most heavyweights, bro, like if you watch that, I was watching us fight. I could see him like he definitely started. He came out fast, but after that round, that was pretty much it. You know what I mean? He was after that he was only able to fight in spurts. You know what I mean? Because he blew his wad out quick. That first minute, just and I could see at the end of the fight he was hurting, bro. I could see it. I could tell. Like I was pretty composed. I was don't get me wrong. I was breathing a little heavy, but I was like, man, we could have. I trained 3 minute rounds. We only get 30-second rest, bro, and we're right back at it. I could show you videos of me training, going 4 to 6 rounds, 3 minute rounds, 30-second rest, and different opponents at the same time. So um, it is more different when you start, like I said, when you start really throwing haymakers and stuff. That's when it gets real serious. He made me push the pace faster than I wanted to too. So I really had to be real defensive minded. So I'm going to be defensive minded, but I'm going to come out and guaranteed I'm going to stick my jab right in his face. I'm going to walk right across the ring. I'm going to stick my jab right in his face, and we're going to see if he adjusts to that. You know what I mean? I'm going to control the range. That's my thing is like I try to tell everyone, you ain't got time. Boxing's just more than hitting. Don't get me wrong, punches is good. But there's such a thing. I've watched some of my guys, like dudes I train with, they'll put themselves on the ropes. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro? You just went and got on the ropes. Well, I'm doing this. And I'm like, no, bro, what you're doing is you're showing the judges that he's controlling that ring, bro. That ring, the generalship is a big thing. So
Mm,
you know what I mean? I ain't got time to give him any of that. I got to really make him think it's going to be like a speed chess. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm going to do, what I do first, whatever he adjusts to, I'll adjust from there. You know what I mean? If that means switching to southpaw, I usually typically like to do it when I'm exchanging and you're right. You caught that. Like when I come with my right hand and I step into that right hand and lay it down, I'll use that foot to come forward and then I'll stay there and then circle off and jab off of that. So, it's something my coach doesn't like. He gets a little upset, but even he told me, he was like, bro, he's like, I'm not trying to be a dick. He was like, you're getting way better at that. And he was like, I don't like you to do it, but at the same time, everything, I can't say you're going to do it. It's just natural to you. So, um, I'm lucky to be able to do that. Um, I don't know where it comes from, brother. I don't know, but it's God given. But, I've worked very hard on my footwork. I think I'm a completely different fighter that fought boxer. um,
mm,
that's a night and day thing, bro. My style's way different. I don't like people are like, man, don't fight in that Philly. I'm very comfortable in the Philly. Like I get good defense on that Philly, but you know what I mean? I fight where I'm the
yeah.
most comfortable. I'll do whatever I have to do to like just stay safe and pick my punches. I'm more of a counter puncher now than somebody that just presses the action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Mark from PYP Boxing, who's like the worst. He's the worst boxing. He's the worst boxing
Well,
interviewer out there. The worst reporter ever, man. To ever. No, but you know what? He nailed it right there, man. That's exactly what I was thinking. You move a little bit like a Larry Holmes, dog. You do. You look a little bit like a Larry Holmes and some Tyson Fury in there. That's what I would do. So he
I
analyzes
love
good.
both those dudes' style, man. Those are two of my
Yeah,
favorite heavyweights. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So PYP Boxing, good analyst, horrible reporter, man. You guys, shout out to my boy Mark over there at PYP Boxing. Him and David,
Salute, my
man,
brother.
doing the damn thing. You know what, comrade? Like switching the southpaw thing. Like you're right. It was just gifted to you because it comes so naturally. It's such a sneaky move. You don't realize it, and once you realize it, you've already thrown some offense. And while you're in there, it's it's like you're trying to put a puzzle together while somebody's throwing punches at you. That's what I keep on trying to tell people, man. They thinking like it's street fighting or it's just you throw down like No, man, that's not it. It's a chess game. You're playing chess while somebody's throwing punches at you. You know, it's a lot. It's like you said, it's much more mental than it is physical. But let's get to the physical part because I don't want to pass this, man, because I think there's a big point to be made on this, and that is having the wind. When I was a kid, boxing was huge in my house, right? All my family's from Mexico. We watched all the Chavez and the Maromel Payes and the De La Hoyas. We watched all the fights, man, right? And everybody would just be, drinking their beer, saying like, "Why does he stop punching? Punch, dale, 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 dale!" Like, don't stop, because it looks easy. You're just throwing punches. But one doesn't realize, man, how draining, how much energy that really does take out of you. And for somebody just to say like, you're just going like this. Like, no, no, okay, you're just doing that for like a quick 5 seconds, man. It is so draining. It takes so much energy out of you. One of the biggest skills in boxing is having the wind. That is a skill that takes so much time to develop. Yes, when everybody thinks skills, they think about footwork, they think about the jab, controlling the ring, all that stuff. That is all skills. But another thing that does not get its due credit is having the conditioning, is being able to go round after round after round and still have the energy. That is one of the toughest things to do because that takes so much discipline. That changes your entire lifestyle and from everything from what you eat, what everything that you intake, your recovery, everything, man. Just time after time, just building that wind, comrade. How did you build that wind? And like you said, you're a different fighter from the boxer fight to now. Where do you think the chasm is between then and now when it comes to your win? Because it does look it does look, dog, that you could go quite a few rounds, man.
Find it, you know what, brother? I wouldn't say my cardio's any better than it was in the boxer fight.
Okay.
I'm able to stay more calm. And I think that's what
Mm,
people don't realize. It's not only the win, it's you being able to be calm in there and be completely relaxed. I've watched dude, ultra marathon runners come into the gym. Matter of fact, we got two dudes right now. We're training. We train up some guys. They're real estate brokers, very prominent real estate brokers all over Denver. There's like 8 fighters. Each gym takes 2 fighters. This is a charity work. We do a charity event. This is a charity event for kids, for boxing, for kids, for at-risk city youth, right? So these gentlemen, they don't know nothing about boxing. They come in, they train with us for 8 to 6 weeks, and we try to turn them into the best boxer we can. Some of these dudes, I can just tell, bro. They come the last batch when I told him, I said, "You look like you do 14ers." And he goes, "That's my hobby, bro." He goes and hikes 14ers,
mm,
16ers, trails where they're like, 2,000 feet in the air, and they do these crazy ass. And I'm like, and that takes a lot of wind. But they get in the ring, bro, and they start bouncing around and hitting mitts, and they're tired. Or they get in and we bounce around. I'll give them some work, just somebody a target to hit at. You know what I mean? And by the second, third round, they're just gassed, dude, because they don't know how to be calm and throw punches. You could train your body to throw punches when, like you said, when punches are getting thrown back at you and you're trying to move and like, okay, what am I going to set him up with? And you're thinking, you're doing all at once, and that's what people get tired. You know what I mean? It's they're not calm in there. They're completely tense. Uh, if you're tense, like my coach said, you're tense. You're just tense throwing, trying to throw. He said when you're trying to put all your weight into it, you're kata, man. It's kata. He said, but when you're relaxed and just snap it out there, boom, that's when it's the most. You see someone's head snap back and it really hurts them. You don't take much. What a head weighs maybe 8 to 10 pounds, bro. And we're
yeah.
swinging 16-ounce gloves and we're hitting with probably 40 pounds, 50 pounds of pressure punching through that. Like, um, it don't take much to take a man out, bro, to move their jaw. So the perfect punch, it don't have to be extremely hard. But I think it's not even so much my wind and gas. It's I'm more calm in the ring. You know what I mean? I'm more calm with punches being thrown at me. Like, okay, you're safe. You're okay. You're good. And even when the punch is just right, and that's when you know you're in great striking distance. When their punch just comes up a little short, you're right in the pocket, and you're able to get yours off, and they can barely miss you. And it's like the Matrix, bro. I love it. That's the stuff that, like, man, it's. I mean, I love when I see a move or I like film some sparring. I'm like, man, that looked like shit. I look like a real champion right there for like a half a second. You know what I mean? Like, damn. But but man, I means a lot that you guys see the work, and that means a lot because I know you're a boxing connoisseur, bro. You know what you're looking at. It's an art form. You can't cheat that, bro. You can't. Someone can't tell me they're a badass, this, that, and then they go hit the bag, and I'm like, I see him hit the bag, and I'm like, bro, what? No, like, no.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Sometimes it looks good, but I look at everything. Like, are you moving? Like boxer, with boxer, I kind of knew, dude, he was going to be a stationary dude. I told everyone, I told Mikey, I was like, bro, he's going to be state. That's going to be my punching bag, bro. I'm not trying to be mean to him or nothing. I said, I don't see a dude who moves. He throws hot. Hey, bro, anyone can look good hitting the bag. The bag don't hit you back.
Right.
And as soon as that, here's the thing. Like I told Bogdan, I said, we're going to see when we hit each other, the punch. That punch affects you. We're going to see your effects afterwards. If you, how you move, you're going to put your hands up every time because you don't want to take those no more. You know what I mean? You're at the point where you just want to put your hands up instead of trying to throw a punch while your punch is coming at you, knowing you're going to eat it still. And that's what it takes, you know?
I mean that's the old the old Mike Tyson saying. Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face, you know. So you can think that you're gonna, you did a lot of good work and everything, but once you get in there and you get socked in the face, now you're just kind of like, oh man, if you don't have that muscle memory, all the training, everything that you just did kind of goes out the window. Now you're tense. Now you're overthinking. That's draining your body, and you're just gonna go back to reverting back to what you did in the streets. And yeah, man, you're just gonna drain yourself out, and not gonna put in any of the work that you thought that you did. So that's why you're right, man. I see you. You're calm in there. You're always calm in there. Me, I would always walk in there with some fear. I would always have some fear. I was always have some doubt. Like, damn, what if he knocks me out? And then it takes me getting hit to say like, okay, I could take this. I could take
Yeah.
this. Once I get hit, I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. I feel the punch, but it's not that bad. Because I don't know why I would always think like, damn, I don't know, man. Even if I did some sparring or something, what if he just goes in there and just pow, lights out? But then when I get in there and immediately, as soon as the first thing I do is feel the hit, I'm like, okay, okay, it's not that bad. All right, let's get in this. Let's do this, man. So, um, all right, comrade. So this is 3 2-minute rounds, correct?
Yeah. 3 2-minute rounds. So
Okay.
300, what? 320 seconds? 300, what? 60 seconds? 360 seconds.
That's a lot can be done in that time, man. It probably doesn't sound much to many people, but a lot of damage can be done in that time. But all right, comrade. So what is this for? You briefly mentioned it, but what is this promotion? What is it for? Is this a cause? Do you get paid? Do the fighters get paid? What's all this promotion? What's it about?
No, this is so it's a pro promotion. It's my coach is a promoter here in Denver. He's one of the biggest promoters here in Denver. He's Airtight Boxing. He's been doing it since before doing it was cool, man. So early '90s he started. Um, that gym and his promotion company been around forever, brother. So it's my coach. You know, my coach, man. He's he gets as excited about me as everyone else, bro. And as he's a great coach, he makes me believe in myself. Uh, and you know what's crazy is he's not somebody that bullshits people. He'll tell you if you look like shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. We I guess we breathe the same air. But he's like, man, you're old. He goes, but Conrad, you're still learning. He was like, bro, I've watched you completely just change, turn it around. Like, man, like doing stuff that you shouldn't be able to do. Like that's crazy. And you know, he asked me a question a while back, and he goes, "You think if you would have came in as a younger man that you probably would have made something?" And I thought about it for a while and I said, you know what, bro, you can't live in reverse. But at the same time, I said, no. And he said, why not? And I said, because I didn't have the right mindset as a young man to do this. I know how hard this is. I know what this takes. You know what I mean? Like, and me being an older man, not lying to myself to say, hey, um, you you uh you can't cheat this, bro. As a young man, you know what? We get cocky. We think we're fucking, invincible. You can't tell me. I know better. I can drink. I can party. I can be with women and still do this. Chale, you can't, bro. Okay. Like I told you before. I shared this with you. I'm a poor imitation of a boxer already, bro. And I love this sport. I'll be honest with you. And I don't ever want to do it. No injustice. I don't ever want to and say, look at these. You know what I mean? When we fought on the 13th, bro, when some of those pros came up and gave me compliments, that meant a lot to me, bro. When I seen how some of those dudes who really know boxing and know what the hell they're looking at was like, man, that was dope. I expected to see something way different, and I was that makes me feel good, bro. Like my that means more to me than any feria or anything. You know what I mean? So no, we don't get paid no money, bro. We're amateurs. We're still amateurs. The only thing that's changed is the no headgear, and that's about it. You know what I mean? But we're still amateurs at the same time. But yeah, brother, I love the promotion. It's a great promotion. You know what? To be honest with you, brother, we've had some things come up, and I was literally within a day or two from pulling out of this fight. To be honest with you, I was a day away from pulling out of this fight. Um, this past week has been a very, very sad week on YouTube, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and say I was the man's best friend. I'm not. Did we have a friendship? Yeah, we had a friendship, man. So Josh Mason, not my brother Josh Mason here in the chat, but Josh Mason, aka Rascal, man. My condolences to his family and his friends and his loved ones. I did have a relationship with the man. I'm not going to share what we talked about. I'm not going to share any of that because those are conversations we had off of YouTube, and I don't think it's in poor taste to even speak about it on YouTube. So, but what I am doing is honestly, this whole fight, man, I'm gonna dedicate it to the Mason family. I'm gonna dedicate it to Josh. Rascal Reacts. I considered him a friend and a brother, and I'm gonna dedicate it. I'm gonna dedicate the fight to him. Win, lose or draw, bro. Sometimes things happen in life, bro, and it makes you really evaluate your life and stop feeling sorry for yourself. You know what I mean, brother? I love that dude's moniker. I love that, bro. Helping others move in excellence. I always thought that was so dope, bro. Um, that's what we really need to do, man. I think us as Chicanos and Mexicanos, we need to learn something here, bro, and start to come together and stop dividing each other. And that's something that really irks me about our gente, bro, and our raza. And it happens everywhere. I think, you know what, all shit aside, it happens here in Denver. It's really bad here. We could learn something from California, man, because I love how you guys come together sometimes, bro, and really make shit happen. I watched Pomona Soul Sounds thing get put on on G Lou's show the other night. That's dope, bro. That two dudes that could come together and not they're competitors, but at the same time pay respects and homage to each other. That's dope, bro. I mean, we could all learn from that, bro. We're all gente, bro. We all have families. We all bleed. We all have hurts and pains, and we all go through it, man. We could sit here and point each other's flaws out till the pros come home, man. But some of that shit needs to stop, man. We got to stop putting so much effort into downing the other guy. You know what I mean? Let everyone else be that, bro. There's so many of those people. We don't have to get on that bandwagon. Hey, look what they did, and they're doing this, and uh, So I think some dudes get a bad rap, bro. Um, let's glorify our friend, man. Let's lift our friend up. Let's lift his family up, man. And just shit, moment of silence, bro. Stay quiet for a minute, man. It's okay, man. We don't have to always be the Avengers. We don't always have to fucking always be the one that you got to hear our wrath and hey, bro, you offended me. You know what, bro? I don't even have time to explain it to somebody, bro, because I think most people it ain't even gonna resonate, bro. Why do I need to waste my effort? It's hard enough for me to get my ass in the gym. I ain't got time to waste on people that ain't gonna listen to me, bro. It's all good. I get it. I come from a broken place too. I understand, bro. I get it. I understand. Sometimes we don't do the best. But I'm gonna dedicate this to Josh, man. Win, lose or draw, Rascal. Sad week in YouTube, man. We all lost a great content creator. We lost a great man. I loved my conversations with him. I loved his content. Very rational dude, and my respects go out to him and his family and his loved ones, man, with all my heart.
Definitely 100%, man, times two. RIP to Rascal Homie Hangout. He had a lot of he was very educated, man. He had a lot of wisdom. And like I've said, I did have conversations with him, but it was all through YouTube. Um, j- just uh, just to give this piece to Rascal, I wish I would have talked to him a little bit more on a personal level because he had a lot of knowledge. He had a lot of knowledge, man. And you're right. You could learn from somebody else, just like I learned something from you right now, man. I'll get to that in a second. But shout outs to Homie Hangout to Rascal, man. Very very knowledgeable man. Very knowledgeable man. May he rest in peace. You know, comrade. First of all, you and I had a conversation on the phone about a lot of this stuff, right? And I was just like, yeah, man,
Yes, sir.
I always like talking to you, Holmes, right? What you just said just a little while ago made me change on how I view something in life, homie. Okay, and I want to give you those flowers right here, right now. When you were talking about when you got into the gym and the coach asked you, "Hey, had you got came into the gym earlier, would it have been different?" Every time I'm asked that, I always say like, yeah, man, I think I would have been a lot better. I think I would have, definitely, because I've always been a good athlete. I've said that plenty of times. I've always been a good athlete, but I was a mental dog. I was running the streets. I didn't want to do all that. I was smoking, drinking, chasing the hyenas, dog, getting into this madres. You know what I mean? Like, but I always had good wind. I always, impressed at high school on how much I could run around. I was always a good athlete, man. I could really done something with. So every time, every time somebody asked me, like, "Hey, had you taken this, serious, or if you did this when you were young?" I always thought to myself, like, "Yeah, I would have," until I heard you just a little while ago. Just a little while ago. You know what? You're absolutely right. Had I walked into a boxing gym, would I had been better than I am today? Probably not, because you're right, man. My mind just wasn't there. My mind wouldn't have been in it. I would have gone into that ring, sparred, and said, like, man, damn this, dog. I'm out of here. You're right. You're right, homie. I never ever once thought about that until just you brought it up right now. But you're 100% right.
Yeah,
Now the way I look at it in my life, I look at it different. So as you say, we learn from one another. I never thought of it like
appreciate that.
that. But you're right,
I
dog.
want to tell myself, oh, I could have been world champion. I could have. Brother, I didn't have it up here, bro. And this
No.
controls everything, brother. Don't get me wrong. We all have two arms, two hands. A lot of people forget this, brother. This is so powerful, brother. This and your corazon, those are the two most powerful things in your whole body, bro. That drives
Yeah.
everything. Like I said, when the body gives up, bro, when the body says, Charlie, no more, I ain't doing this. You go here, bro. And okay, when you start making agreements with yourself, right? We start making agreements like, nah, if you can do this, you can do that. That's where we messed up, bro. So I didn't have it up there, bro. I didn't have it. And I'll be honest with you, I was afraid to walk in that gym because I was afraid to get exposed and find out I wasn't who
Yeah.
I thought I was. You know what I
And
mean? I was gonna find out who I wasn't who I thought I was. Because that's what happens when you go in those places.
everybody that watches this, man, everybody that watches this, dudes from the streets have the biggest egos and they're so sensitive. Believe me, I was one of them. I was one of them. My mentality didn't start changing. Not that it changed overnight, but it did not start changing until I hit the age of 39 years old. So the dudes from
When
the
you start
streets,
living for something else other than us, Cholo, that's where you know what I mean? When we start living for something else other than ourselves,
I
I
just
think that's where the street change comes, bro.
the ego of you're right. You're absolutely right, dog. You don't want to get exposed. You don't want to be look like a fool. You don't want to be taught. You want to make it seem like you already know. Nobody wants to be known like, man, you don't know what's up. Like, the heck no, those were fighting words on the streets, man. It's like, man, ain't nobody gonna tell me like I don't know what's up. I know what's up, man. You ain't gotta tell. You're right, dog. The mentality was way off. The ego is so big, and the sensitive level is beyond belief, man. Of a scarred woman, it's just that. Then that's something that's got to change, man. But I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, brother. Um, just to kind of wrap it up a little bit, let's get to how we're gonna watch your fight. Is You're gonna go live? Okay, you're gonna go live. Now I'm gonna be busy Saturday night. I'm gonna pass this over to David Contreras. Hopefully he can go ahead and do this. Is there a main channel, or do people just tap into Mile High Hustle?
You guys can come on the main Mile High Hustle. I'll share the link. I'll share the link in the chat, so you guys can log on to the link with your like what I did now. And you're just basically going to share it with your audience, and then everyone from your audience can watch it as well. And then after the fight's over, it'll still be on your channel. So there's no it ain't going to mess up monetary. You know what I mean? You still have a right to it because you were you know what I mean, a co-host in it. So the fights do start at 2 p.m. These are daytime. We are fighting at the Stampede Bar, so we have to be out of there by like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So my fight probably go on about 4 p.m., probably 3 p.m. California time. So
Okay, I
probably
might
about
have a chance to watch it. I might have a time
yeah,
if it's around 4 o'clock. I think I got a chance to watch it. So if that is true, I'll go ahead and I'll run it
yeah,
on here on this platform.
yeah. So it'll be on. It'll be on. We'll go live probably around. I think the doors open at 12. First fight, I'm gonna say jumps off at like 1:30. And I think I'm gonna fight either second to last or maybe third. Who knows? I don't. I'm not gonna be the main event. I know that. So I don't know exactly where the coach is putting me at, but yeah. So I'll touch base with you guys more as I get more info. But I'm gonna put up the stream tonight. I will share the link with everyone. So Chicano Tube or anyone else who wants to post it on their channel is more than welcome. And like I said, you don't have to worry about getting any strikes or anything. It's basically a free for all. You know how we all share channels, so it's basically just linking our stream yards together. But man,
Okay.
I do appreciate all your guys' love, man. I really appreciate all the love I've gotten from SoCal, man. I got so much family and friends. I'm so grateful for YouTube, man. I've made a lot of good friends on here, people that I really consider friends, that I really admire their thought process and their opinions. And I'm just humbled, man. I'm humble, man. I'm grateful. My heart's full. Though we had a sad passing, I wish my brother could see how many lives he really touched on this thing. If there was one thing I wish he could have seen all the dudes who did videos on him, that he impacted their life in some way. And that's a true measure of a man, bro. And thank God for our community, man. Is it perfect? Are we perfect as a family? No, we're not. We got some brothers who are rogue. We got some brothers who don't quite think right. But at the same time, brother, it's not always our position to scold them. Pray for them, man. That's, best thing I can say is pray for them. Don't get out of your character trying to make somebody understand your thought process, man. The way I try to say it is nobody controls my thermostat. I control my own thermostat. You know what I mean? Nobody can turn up the heat on me except myself. So at the same time, I get it, man. Some things irk us, and I get it. I completely understand everybody's point of view. Even the dudes who didn't do move so right or whatever, bro. In our viewpoint, you know what I mean? But at the same time, bro, I think we just got to do better as a people, man. Our raza, we got to start really looking out for each other. Stop always trying to call people out for, not adhering to a gang culture or a prison culture. And hey, bro, you was a check-in and chale, homie, I don't want to hear all that, bro. Would you respect me more? Because I did all my time on the main line, homie, and I walked the main line by myself. And I mean, bro, is that what you really respect, bro? I mean, be honest with you, brother. I left all that behind me when I left them door walls, prison. Uh, I don't want to be that, bro. I don't want to be remembered for that. And sometimes I look back at my life and I'm ashamed, bro. I'm really ashamed. You know what I mean? So, I take Josh's acronym and I really hold that true to my heart, man. I try to help kids that are in a place where I was, man, that didn't have that positive male role model. And you know what? Boxing whatever whatnot that I'm doing, man, let it just be the conversation piece that starts the conversation between me and a youngster and asks me a question, and hopefully it opens some eyes, man, and they don't go where I've been, and they don't see some of the stuff I had to see, you know.
All right, man. There you guys have it. Wise words from a wise man who's also a warrior. And if you don't believe he's a warrior, tap in this Saturday to Mile High Hustle, man. And most likely, if the fight is at around that time at 4, I'll go ahead. I'll run it on here as well, man. But hey, comrade, it's always great talking to you, brother, whether it's on YouTube or in private on our phone conversations, brother. But I always enjoy having a conversation with you, Gatnat. You got a good head on your shoulders, and go knock somebody else's head off, man. You know what I mean? Keep yours on this Saturday, big dog.
Sir.
And we'll be rooting for you, brother. And good luck to you, and hope to have you on after your fight, man. I'd like to hear your thoughts after you put that ass whooping on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I gotta have me on with Mikey, bro. Me and Mikey need to have it out, bro. I don't want to hear about this. Me and the Mikey have to. Me and Mike. Hey, Mikey, there is no way. There's no conspiracy, bro. We can have it out, big dog. I know you're a fan, bro, but come on, dog. Nah, hey,
Uh,
respects for all the chingones, man. Respects, Dave Contreras, man. Very great man. You guys, I love the thing you guys got going on here. My boy PYP, Shark and Meno, Josh Mason, Bigfoot, Chicano too. Thank you guys, every one of you, man, that have truly inspired me, gave me a platform, and I appreciate each and every one of your friendship. Thank you, Cholo, for being such a gentleman, brother. Thank you for being a strong brother and a voice, homie. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, there's my brother. There's the East Los Bandit. Hey, Theo, what's up? Love you, Theo. Thank you for everything. Look, boom. Say East Los, say East Carlos, East Los Califas, homie. That's my boy right there. Go
all right,
Dodgers,
big.
man. Go get that back-to-back
Oh,
title. Let's go, Dodgers, man.
oh, we got to bring you back on. I want to know how all that came out to be, man. But we'll definitely talk about that on another one, brother. Hey, man.
Yes, sir.
Likewise to you times two, brother. Gracias for being a good brother as well, man. And go whoop some ass this Saturday, brother. And we'll be
Yes,
here
sir.
and we'll be rooting for you. That is Comrade Mile High Hustle representing the Fox State. You guys catch him this Saturday as he puts tips on somebody. Cholo, choque los tres chingones, boxing shots, all the chingones y chingonas. Catch you guys on next round.